Hey everybody, welcome back to A Better Computer. My name is Matt, and I cannot tell you how many screenshots I take on a daily basis for work. I'm a designer by day, and I am taking screenshots to share ideas with people on the product team, on the business side of things, and sales, with developers, and trying to explain requirements to them. My job is really intertwined very closely with screenshots and how well I can communicate ideas in those screenshots. And so I use CleanShot to take all of my screenshots on the Mac. But I also like to pretty them up. And so I use apps like Figma, Sketch sometimes to kind of arrange those screenshots in a cool way, in a nice way, to just make them look nicer when I'm sharing them with people. But there's apps out there that try to let you do that more easily, more automatically. I've talked about an app called Xsnapper before, but I have something better. It's a web app called Pika. It's pika.style, and you can go there and use it for free. They also have the paid option. I'm using the paid option in this video, so just be warned, a couple of these things are locked behind a paywall. But yeah, I wanted to show you this tool because I think it's really cool, really useful. And if you do take a ton of screenshots like me and they're important to you, and having some just variety and just having a nicer screenshot than average to share with people, I think really looks professional in a lot of cases. This is going to be a really cool tool. So let's jump into a quick demo of how it works, and you can check it out yourself. Okay, so here we are in Pika, and the first thing you need to do is give it an image. So let's go ahead and do that. You can paste in from here. You can use the file selector here. They have a demo image you can choose. You can give it a URL. It'll take a screenshot of that page. I'm just going to drag in an image that I took earlier. So this is a login page. So let's say the scenario is I'm trying to share our new login page with people and get them excited for it, right? So, okay, this is already pretty decent compared to just sharing the screenshot, right? Like this is the screenshot normally, which is fine, but I think this looks nicer. And so there's a couple things you can configure with this. So the first thing is you can put a frame around your screenshot that you're marking up. So you can make it look like a Mac app in dark mode. You can make it look like a generic app. You could make it look like Windows, again, light or dark. You can put it into a stack like this. You can make it look like arc. You can put a ruler around it. This one's called Emotion, which is a shadow thing, a single shadow with eclipse. I like Arc as a browser and as a look for this. I think this is kind of generic and just looks kind of nice. So I'm going to go with that as my frame. I'm going to go ahead and resize it to something around there. Let's give it a little space to breathe and show the gradient and everything. The shadow, or the roundness, I should say, controls the roundness of the screenshot itself. I like around 8. And then the shadow controls how much shadow is underneath it. Again, you can go to taste, but I kind of like it around 4. You can tilt the screenshot. So this, I think, is a pro feature only, but you could tilt it like this if you wanted. You can reset it back to 0. I usually do it at 0, but every once in a while, it's kind of cool to have it at an angle for specific cases. So you can go ahead and do that. And then you can position it left, right, center, top right, top left, all that good stuff. And you can see it's clipping a little bit, so I would just kind of shrink the size down if I wanted to do that. But we'll leave it in the center for now because that's the basic use case. Now you can change the aspect ratio basically of it. So auto just adds kind of the same padding all around. You can make it optimized for a tweet, optimized for an Instagram post, which is like the 4:5, Instagram story, 9:16. And then there's some other things for Dribble, for the App Store. And then there's also just like square, widescreen, that sort of thing. I usually just leave it on auto, which I think is what we'll leave it here, just so it is correct for whatever screenshot I'm using. You can change the background to a whole bunch of things. This is the one that I kind of favor, but you can change it to all these different gradients. You can change the direction of the gradient to make it look just kind of how you want. And then you can actually click here to set your own custom colors. So if we went like kind of this white over to black, or like, yeah, so something like this. Doesn't look great, but you could do that. You can upload a custom photo. You can do these images that are here that are pretty rad. This one's just the macOS Monterey one. But yeah, you can kind of find one of these that works for you. Or again, like I said, I just like to use this gradient. This is the one that I like, but you can choose whichever one is to your taste. You can add watermarks, so you'll see that shows up down here, and that is controlled with this toggle for how you want it to look. You can change its position on the screenshot to wherever you'd like, and then you just enter text in the ones that you want, and it puts an icon next to this. So for Instagram, I could do like Matt, and there you go. And these aren't links or anything, so you just kind of make it whatever you want. I don't find this useful for my use case, so I'm just going to remove that. We also have text. So this is like if we were showing this off to people at the company, I could say show text. And now you can see that added it to the top of the page. And I'm going to say new login page. There you go. We're going to make it dark so that it pops more. And then we're going to just adjust the size of things. Line height doesn't really matter here. You can do subtext as well, but I don't need that here. We can do the text position, so top, bottom. Let's actually do the bottom on this one, and then change the Y position to make it a little centered here. Cool. So there we go. So now we have this screenshot. Well, actually, I take it back. It should be on the top. So there we go. So now we have this screenshot of here's the login page, here's my header, and there we go. I can add some noise to the background if I'd like. I don't usually do this, but you can. If you need the screenshot itself to have some rounded corners, you can see that here. That's rounding those. And you can add a created using Pika style if you want, but you don't really have to. Even on the free plan, you can actually turn that off. So that's a good thing to know. So let's go ahead and set that to 2x to make it just upload at double the resolution to make sure it's high res. And then I can copy it to my clipboard or save it as a PNG or a JPEG. So let's just go ahead and save it, confetti, and it worked. And that's great. So that's really awesome. You can save these as presets as well. So you could save this as a preset if you'd like. So if you have other screenshots you want to do, you can do them in the same style. So I actually did one earlier. Let me go ahead and just reload the page, and I'll use their demo image. And you can see it's kind of saved my settings from last time, but I want to do this in a different style. So let me crop this. This is a cool thing. You can actually crop in on your screenshots. There we go. So we'll do one for this. We'll go to my presets, header image. It changed the color, the text, and now I can go in here and start changing things. So our cool new graphic is actually the heading that I want. So there you go. So now I have this, which I can share, copy to my clipboard, and boom, I'm ready to share it in our company Slack or wherever I want to get excited about this. So that's all really cool. There's two more things I'll show you real quick. If you go under templates, there's a couple templates. This is brand new, but there's templates for the iPhone 14 Pro as well as for showing code. So let's go ahead and just delete this, and I'm going to paste in some JSON. Not very exciting, I know. But again, you have all those same controls here. You could do light mode, dark mode. You can do any of these languages if you wanted to color code everything correctly. You can change the font size to make this look however you like, but this is nice for sharing little code snippets with people. If you don't want to just share the text, you probably just want to share the text, but this is good for those cases. And in this one, for example, if we want to do an iPhone screenshot, we're just going to go ahead and grab this one from the desktop. There you go. I'm going to make sure it's 2x. And again, just kind of find the right gradient that works for me. We can do it at an angle. We've got these like side ones. I could add some text here if I'd like. If you're doing something for the App Store, you may want this one. And then put your text up here or something like that. So lots of flexibility here to create a nice little mock-up. We can make the silver version of the phone, the gold one, and of course the space black, but the purple's obviously the best. So that's what we're going to use. And yeah, you can just kind of go from there and go ahead and we'll save it to my computer. There we go. More confetti. It all works really, really nice. So yeah, that is Pika. It's a quick look at it. Again, some of this, I think the templates are pro only. Some of these tools like the tilt one, I think some of the text and watermark stuff might be pro only. But just check the pricing to see kind of like what you get. I would say try it out for free if this is useful at all to you or looks like it might be useful at all. Try the free one and see how far it gets you. If you need to go pro, then see if it's worth that much. Again, it is a pretty significant subscription, but if you get tons of value from it, it might be worth it. So that's it for Pika, and hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.